Self-doubt is defined as a lack of faith in oneself, in one's abilities. And I experience that daily. In fact, if I'm honest, I experience that a lot. Not just once daily, but throughout the day. Hi Neurospices. Welcome to Late Diagnosed. My name's Michelle, and in 2023 I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD at the age of 54. Since then, I've been navigating the journey of unmasking. I've been navigating how to work out what my life actually is. I've been working out how to be kinder to myself. And I've been finding out lots of different things that I had no idea were attributable to ADHD and or autism. The things that I thought that I failed at over my life, the reasons that I felt like a square peg in a round hole. All of those things I'm now finding out. And what I'm finding out is I'm not a failure. I'm not broken. My brain just works differently. I put it down to working with a different operating system. So for example, like a Windows computer versus a Mac computer. And my brain is just different to the normal operating system. And that's okay. Today I'm going to talk about self-doubt. At work, it's probably the hardest for me because whenever I've come up against something that's negative or where I've felt misunderstood or my brain kind of doesn't necessarily grasp what's being told to me because verbal instructions don't work for me. I do need things written down because I'm not going to remember it. If you give me a great big long list of verbal instructions, after about the first 5 words, my brain just switches off and I can't engage and I can't get it. So unless it's written down, I'm not going to get it. So when someone comes back to me and asks me to do that thing that they told me about previously, I will doubt myself constantly. And it's really hard. Self-doubt is there through lived experiences. The life that we have when we're fitting into a neurotypical world means that we measure ourselves against the neurotypical way. And of course we don't measure up. Another way that I put that is that neurotypicals are a bunch of monkeys. And that's not to be derogatory, it's just trying to be funny. Anyway, but I'm a fish. So I can't climb a tree like a monkey can. I certainly can't. The effort that it takes me to climb a tree when I can't normally climb a tree is much more than someone who comes naturally to it. After being frequently rejected or invalidated, when you get comments like, "Stop overreacting, quit being so sensitive, that's not that hard, why don't you try harder?" All those kinds of comments make us doubt ourselves and our abilities and make us question whether or not we're actually a massive failure or whether there's something inherently wrong with us. So until such time as we find out that we're actually neurodivergent, we just feel like a great big ball of failure. And that's not something that's really easy to get rid of. If you identify with the things that I'm saying, you're probably wondering, well, okay, yeah, how do I fix it? Really good question. Let me answer that for you. First of all, it's not easy, but you can do it. The key is to rebuild your self-esteem. And the first thing that you need to understand is that you're not broken. Yep, you're not broken. You're unique. You're wonderful, just as you are. And like you would offer a friend compassion and empathy, you need to offer that to yourself. And that's not easy. I know, I've done it. When your go-to is criticizing yourself more than you could possibly think anyone else would criticize you, and when that rhetoric is constantly playing in your head, it's really hard to change that tape that's playing. But you can do it, and you need to do it. And how you do that is by catching those thoughts as they jump into your head. So when that first thought jumps in and says, I can't do this, challenge it. Why can't I do this? Who says I can't do this? Well, I'm going to have a go at doing this. I'm going to at least try. Because you never know what you can do until you try. One of the things I found when I was younger was that I would not attempt things because I was so scared of failing. And the reason I was so scared of failing was because of the negativity that I found, not just from other people when I didn't get things done the way that they thought they should be done, or I wasn't able to do the things the way that everyone else was able to do them. But because I'd observed and watched how other people did them and couldn't do it, I found it was really hard to get those things done. And I'm talking about executive dysfunction. I'm talking about the everyday things most people find very easy to do, neurotypicals. Neurodivergent brains just don't work that way. We're a different operating system. The neurodivergent brain thinks of things in absolutes. It's black or it's white. There's no grey. We either can do it or we can't do it. And when we feel like we can't do it, we don't do it. Our brains won't let us. It's like there's this wall that stops us from moving forward. I want you to do something for me. I want you to challenge that this week. Challenge those self-doubt thoughts that come into your head. Just challenge them. That's it. Not asking you to do anything major. When it happens, recognise that that's what's happening and challenge it. Say to it, is that the truth? And encourage yourself that you can do hard things. My goodness, you're here. If you attempt something and it doesn't go well, don't beat yourself up about it. Just take it as one step further forward. One way, okay, think of it as, who was it? Alexander Graham Bell. So he invented the light bulb. Now, he didn't invent it straight up, okay? He made many, many errors to get to that point. But the way that he worded it, and I can't think of how many attempts it was, let's say it's 1,000, because, I don't know that kind of data. That's not my special interest. But say let's say it's 1,000. So he found 1,000 ways not to do it. That's all. There's no reason for you to hold yourself to ransom because you haven't gotten something right. There's no reason for you not to celebrate the small wins along the way. Hey, I attempted something today. Awesome. That's huge. You can do it. I know you can do it. I'm doing it. And it's hard, but I'm doing it. And every day that I doubt myself, and tomorrow is another day, and no doubt for me, there will be self-doubt that crops in because that's what happens to me all the time. But I am going to challenge that this week, and I'm going to report back to you next week and let you know how I went. One of the most powerful breakthroughs I've had when it comes to self-doubt is reminding myself of what I'm good at and focusing on that. And if you're not sure what you're good at, that's okay. You've got a whole great big life ahead of you where you can find out what it is that you're good at. And even if you're older than me, you've still got a great big life ahead of you, so don't be thinking like that. Don't be shaking your head at me. By understanding ourselves, by offering ourselves compassion, we give ourselves our life back. And that, to me, is the greatest gift of all. So regardless of whether we conquer self-doubt, I think by offering ourselves compassion, by offering ourselves empathy, by understanding what we're good at, and focusing on the things, the positive things of our life. By focusing on the positive things in our lives, then we're one step forward, and that's a good place to be. Just remember, it takes work to learn how to live life on the spectrum. Let me know in the comments what you find the hardest when it comes to self-doubt, and let's work on a solution together. Check out my video on the 5 most common autism traits that you didn't know about. I'll link it in the comments. Thanks for being here today. I look forward to finding out what you find difficult what you doubt yourself about, because I know it's not just me. And like I can, you can also learn how to live life on the spectrum. Thanks for being here, guys. Catch you in the next one.